Hey guys, good morning. RP here. Just a small update on the SPX chart following from the last week video update that I shared. So for a week or so, we kept talking about 6430 as a key level, and I kind of shared why I was looking at 6430, which was 161% extension of this particular wave from here to here, right? So correcting it here. Yeah, so somewhere around here, and we were looking for a dip back coming to 6200 or 6147, and I kept sharing that August will be bearish. Just a small change which happened was that I kind of was expecting this leg down to 6200 to be a little sloppy, not come as sharp as it did, right? And though it does not change the levels, though it does not change anything, from what I was expecting, it's just that I was waiting for a more choppy August rather than coming down in an impulsive manner, right? So when we start looking into this a breakdown of this drop, it is certainly an impulsive, and I was explaining in my last video, an impulse down does not mean that we are going all the way back into the lows. It can simply mean that we are getting a zigzag correction, right? So, and I'll talk about that more when we go into the short time frame. But for now, what we are looking at, as explained before, 6147, 6146, this area remains key for the bulls to hold. Any drop below this could trigger a larger correction, and we'll get to that if that happens. Right now we don't have to worry about that, because we are looking at this level, these levels to hold, right? And Monday will bring more clarity if that would be the case, or there is something else going on right now. But as long as it doesn't breach us below 6147, I would not be going on a max bearish path at all, right? Now, what we're looking at here right now is that, with this 161% extension, we were considering that to be a wave three, which means if, the sell-off is over, then, this wave was already done. So potentially we had like a one, two, three, and a sharp four, and we head towards a new high immediately right after that. We don't even have to go to 6147. The only thing that can happen is a sweep of 6200, which I was waiting on Friday. That did not happen. That can still happen on Monday. It kind of dips into it, gets bought right back up, and moves to a new high, right? So that would be like, okay, if this was my wave one and two here, now I got one, two, three, four, five. That'll complete my major three wave move, and then post that, let's say if this move from 6238 or 6200 to 6490, that's about kind of 300 points. Maybe it happens in the next 2 to 3 weeks, let's say. Then the remaining of the August or September will be bearish again, because we will be in a major four post that, right? So you can consider that as again another wave coming down here, and then we go for another five towards the end of the year, right? So maybe October to December can be a more bullish month as such, right? So that would be that's one theory. Now the other one is, let's just scale back a little. Other one is that if this was not my interim three. When I say interim three, again I was talking about counting like this, right? So one, two, three, four, and five. If this is not my interim three, then probably my three and four were done here, and this was a five, and this becomes the larger three here, which means now any bounce will not make a new high. But if we sweep below 6200 on Monday, probably a bounce will come to get do a gap close on right here into 6336, 6337, and then another one down coming back to 6147, completing this wave four right into the level that we talked about. So one, two, three, four, and then fifth wave can start. So probably somewhere in mid late August, wave 5 can start. Again, wave 5 will have its one, two, three, four, five. So when you do a one, two, probably another week or two can go just in doing this one and two before the third wave really kicks in, and by that time we probably will be in September. right? So these two cases are my primary ones. Totally depends, on what happens when it goes to 6300, right? We break the structure here by making a new high above this previous week drop, right? And does it make a lower higher low after that, or goes for a lower low, right? Again, 6146 will remain the key level for us to watch, right? And if you see the 4-hour divergence that we kept talking about is building up as it was heading higher into our 6430 level, 6436 level, right? That is almost resolved, right? We do not have such a challenge of divergence on a daily, so we don't have a problem there at all. So it can simply just start moving back up and then make a divergent high if it has to even make a new high. So that's even possible. So I'm keeping both the cases into the play. I'm not looking at 6147 to break at this point. I'm just looking at a sweep of 6200, move back up, close the gap, and that's where we'll get to know whether it's kind of making a impulsive wave from here like this to go up into that 6495 or 6500 level that we talked about, or is it gonna give me a C leg down, right? So those are the two cases that exist. For me at least, that's what we are watching for. Now, going into a little smaller time interval, like I was saying, there are a couple of ways to really look into it, right? So if this is my ABC wave down completing the wave 4, that's one possibility, that okay, you had this B came in a little small, and then you are just in a C drop, right? That's one way of looking at it. Probably another way of looking at it is that, like I said, it could be a zigzag where this was a 1 2, you had a 3 4, and you'll have a sweep here for a fifth one, and then you go and close this gap. So if this becomes like a 5 wave down, right, then we are looking at just a closure of the gap, which probably would be around 61%, something like that. Yeah, almost there, right? So 61% retracement, and then it kind of comes back for another low here at 61 46, right? Another thing to note is that if there is no dip into 6200, that even makes this case more probable that, we are just going higher just like this into 6336, just to close that gap, because I wanted this liquidity below these lows to be swept. If this is not swept, this is potentially a bull trap being created here into 6336, and that'll be giving me a little bit of more bias towards this setup, that okay, this is not going to all-time high again. This is potentially a trap being set here where bulls are gonna think that okay, we're going to all-time high, but they're gonna kind of pull the rug and bring it back to lower below 6200, sweep the liquidity there, probably sweep below this as well, just like here at 6132, right, and then just reverse it to move back up, right? So multiple ways to look into it, but essentially you kind of get an idea that 6200 is the level to watch early into the week on Monday. You sweep, it goes back up, then we rise about 136 point at least, and from there we kind of figure it out if that's going to come back to 6132 6146 range, or is it gonna make a higher high, higher low, and then just keep on going. So these are the two models that I'm looking at now. If you just compare what I shared from the waves coming from 6430 downwards, now if you look into it, right, so again, like a very sharp downturn. I wasn't expecting this sharp, I was expecting a little bit choppy, but anyway, so if this was my five waves, or a ABC, so the way I'm looking at it is that we have a very small pop for a B, and this is just making a C wave drop right here. Or the other way to look into it would be, as it trades on Monday, that probably this was my 1 2 very small move up, 3 4, and you get a fifth wave. Model remains the same, right? So we want to go back into the 6336 number right here, right? So this is my resistance. This is another level for liquidity, so probably sweep above 6342 and come back down into 6146, right? So we'll see which one works out, but these are the two key levels that I want to watch for: 6200 and 6146 on the lower side. On the higher side, you have 6336, 634 at around resistance. So I think the week can just kind of be in between these three levels, right? So let's see what happens. This is what I wanted to update you in this short video. Hope this helps, and if you like my content, please do like and share and do subscribe. Thank you very much. Have a good one. Bye bye.